This might be a good year for Fist of the North Star fans, and it's all because of its 35th anniversary. I'm the Anime Hero, and today I want to talk about my favorite anime and what's happening to it. 2018 marks the 35th anniversary of the manga Hokuto no Ken, or Fist of the North Star, which premiered in 1983 at Shonen Jump. There's been a lot of recent activity for this franchise with some big news and obscure news. Ever since the Cell games, Death Battle, and a certain catchphrase, Kenshiro's becoming a more popular character. 2018 seems to be the perfect year for anything old school. I said this many times before, Devilman started this in January and the year continues with Lupin III, Cutie Honey Universe, Megalobox, Gegege no Kitaro, Bean Bandit on Kickstarter, Super Campeones with an English dub, and so many other things, including Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. You're dead! The recent Hokuto news comes from Sega of America localizing said game, Storm Collectibles making a North Star themed toy line, and Discotek releasing the 1986 movie on Blu-ray. There's also a chance for Kenshiro to appear in Jump Force since he is a classic 80s Shonen Jump hero. Oh, and the obscure E1 book which holds the entire manga. That might come out for retail, but it runs on batteries and it's a little overpriced. Yikes. Currently, as of this edit date, Fist of the Blue Sky Regenesis is not finished, but I don't know if I can recommend it. With all of this stuff going on, why should you care? And what is Fist of the North Star even about? When does it get good? The series takes place in 1990X after the events of World War III, which ended in a nuclear strike bringing forth the post-apocalyptic wasteland known as the Age of Power. Meanwhile, many bandits, corrupt martial artists, and self-proclaimed kings decide to conquer what's left of the world in a battle to obtain resources and dominance. Kenshiro is the 64th North Star successor, and his duty is to bring back love and peace to these troubled times by basically killing every bad guy. Before he could even begin his mission, Kenshiro gets attacked by his friend Shin, who wants to steal Ken's fiancée Yuria. Kenshiro gets defeated by Shin and crucified via Fist of the South Star. However, Yuria doesn't want Ken to die, so she gives in to Shin's demands, while both Ken and Yuria cry out each other's names. 1 year later, Kenshiro vows revenge at Shin, and wants to rescue Yuria so he can finally get married, thus creating the manliest romantic soap opera ever, followed by Berserk. Romantic manliness! The series itself is quite dramatic and very tragic, especially for Shonen Jump standards, as characters don't come back to life as seen with other 1980s battle shonen, such as Kinnikuman, Dragon Ball, and Saint Seiya. Fist of the North Star stands out not only in the manly visual design, but his character storylines who fight for freedom while facing ill omens. For example, the Big Dipper is an iconic symbol of the series which represents salvation and death. If someone sees the 8th Red Star Outcore, it means that person will die under a year. However, the Big Dipper can also bring hope as evil will soon be vanquished. Fist of the North Star is a very unique story, but I doubt many people will actually go back and watch an old classic anime as they claim to. This is why I was showing you mostly modern footage from the Legends of the True Savior movies, OVAs, and the parody series DD Hokuto no Ken 2 Strawberry Flavor. The new stuff doesn't cover the entire story, which is why I recommend watching the 1984 anime or read the manga. As a result of the 35th anniversary, the first thing that occurred was not a well-received anime being Fist of the Blue Sky Regenesis, a prequel CGI series and its original story, not following the Blue Sky manga. I appreciate the detailed models, the atmosphere, the characterization, but everyone agrees the frame rate isn't good. It's about the same level as the Power of the Primes trilogy to be honest, and the story is decent at best. I don't know who's the target audience for this show, so I'll reserve my opinion in a full review when the series returns for its second cur in October. But the big news that made everyone happy happened at 2018's E3. Sega of America finally revealed the localization for Hokuto ga Gotoku under the name Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. Every Yakuza fan has already heard of this game, and I'm sure you know the details. What really surprised me is Lost Paradise will have dual audio. Fist of the North Star hasn't had a dub project since Legends of the Dark King and the very first Ken's Rage game. I view this dub option as a sign of confidence or a greater attempt of making the North Star brand more successful. Throughout the years since the 1990s, many companies have tried something with this series, and it was always met with financial failure. Manga Entertainment licensed the Fist of the North Star anime, but they never finished dubbing it. This signature and Raijin Comics licensed the manga, and they never finished it. We never even got the best PS2 game of the entire franchise, and the Ken's Rage series were... the music's cool. Currently, Lost Paradise looks like the best modern Hokuto game, and it could be the best method to bring new blood into this niche fanbase. But there's also something else which can revive the spirit of Hokuto. In May of 2018, Storm Collectibles announced making Fist of the North Star figures. There's no release date or any pictures, but I'm assuming we'll learn more about this during the San Diego Comic-Con. Apparently, I wrote this during May or June, so I need to update this by saying nothing happened at San Diego, so we'll have to wait till a New York Comic-Con or the 2019 New York Toy Fair. Previously, Kyoto and Revoltech have made North Star figures, but there was always something I didn't like about them. The face sculpts do resemble the characters, but I feel we could still see something better. Lately, I've been slowly collecting toys and discovered I feel more happy holding a figure that's more bulky, thick, and sturdy. I never held a Revoltech in hand, but judging on visuals alone, the Revoltech figures gave me an impression of being a little fragile looking, and in terms of scale, I think they're too small for a North Star or South Star character. Whether you're looking at the original 80s artwork or the 2000s art with the changed art style, these men and women are very tall, long, muscular, and sometimes extremely heavy looking people. I was browsing Storm Collectibles products, which include Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, and more, so creating Fist of North Star adult collectibles seems like a natural decision that'll suit their work. Most figures go around the $50–$65 mark, while the bigger characters can go to the 90s. My speculation with this North Star line is the villain Raoh is going to be the most expensive guy. I'm using Shao Kahn as my test subject, but I feel Raoh might be taller. I can imagine a Storm Raoh to be $100 or even a $200 figure if he's included with his horse Black King. Raoh and Black King are some of the largest characters of the entire series, so save your money. Especially if there's some sort of white variant figure where you see him doing this. I'm not going to explain the significance of this scene, for I don't want to spoil you. Since Kenshiro is usually shorter and smaller than most villains, I'm guessing it'll be the standard size for most characters of the line, and possibly be around $60. I hope these new lines of figures along with Lost Paradise can get people interested in watching the anime or reading the manga, and maybe one day we can get the Legends of the True Savior movies along with the licensed manga. If you're gonna start this series, I want to recommend the movie Kenshiro Zero. The only problem is you need to skip a few minutes at the beginning due to story spoilers. The start of this film takes place at the end of the series, while Kenshiro tells the story of his very first adventure. So once you skip ahead and you see wolves, you're in the clear. The reason I recommend this movie first is because it acts as a prequel to the first episode, showcasing Kenshiro's reason to kill villains. The film summarizes the tone of the overall series pretty well, and make sure you watch after the credits, which perfectly segues into episode 1. Once you complete the Kenshiro Zero movie, you can go straight into the 1984 anime series, or the manga, whatever's your preference. There's a lot of North Star material that's way overdue on my channel, and this is my first step in changing that. Let's raise our fists in the air, shout I have no regrets, and hope that the heavens are smiling on a successful year for Fist of the North Star. I'm the Anime Hero, and I review anime so you can enjoy it.
お前はもう死んでいる。